like the idea of keeping the computers all day, but I'm not sold on the idea of middle school students being required to take them home and continue to do work on laptops after they come home. I would really like to see what parents, middle school parents, think about this, if they like the idea or if they don't like the idea. You know, I think there's a perception that once you're requiring them to do Canvas and all these things at home, that the workload gets longer, and I think that people are feeling like that's the case at the high school level. I don't know, I don't wanna see us be putting too much on our kids at that age, at the middle school level. And I also think you've got more of an issue of kids at that age with, you know, yeah, we can use these programs here at school and control what the kids are accessing. But once those kids bring that laptop home, maybe some parents don't want their kids to have, you know, complete access to the World Wide Web and be able to do whatever. Maybe they do. I don't know.
A middle school student from North who uses my laptop quite a bit of access.
And that's why I'm saying
I mean, I think it already is happening.
It's already there.
What is
With
the
the
average
with the
age?
rollout of the
It's
cameras,
already happening
it's already
every
there.
Average age.
Tuesday to get on my computer.
Okay, so I know a lot of parents that have children, and I can understand what Megan's saying, because I know a lot of parents who are still very concerned about technology, the upward trend of technology use in daily living, and so they've taken their kids off the grid, you know, and haven't exposed their children to technology, internet use, cell phone use until much older. And I'm not saying, I'm not gonna say who, but I just know, I know several families that do this, so I can appreciate what you're saying. But it is a technology trend that we're going on. How many schools did you say, hey, like at kindergarten level or taking computers?
That's
a little
crazy.
scary to me, but,
Middle school.
Well, no, they don't take them home.
so
But
I'm not sure I'm entirely
Kindergarten.
comfortable with it.
Well,
So,
are we,
They have
the
this
things
space
that
to
we're
do
blocking,
less than
like, can kids access social media at home because they're not on the
No, they're
network?
still filtered.
So they can't go on
No,
Facebook
they're
and
still-
Twitter and all
that's
those
still
other
blocked.
things?
So the filter, we use the eyeballs filter, the content filtering, no, they cannot do Facebook from home on our device because they're still filtered, they run an agent. Just as if they're here.
It's in the background.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with the financial components of it. I'm comfortable with, I personally know who I am with dropping things. Would be very comfortable with your warranties and the ADP and, the cost of that with the $25. I think $25 is not unreasonable.
For a
I
year.
agree with all of that, but I think I'd have to consider, I have to really think about the whole taking it home though.
They can put it in their locker. Could do their homework, right? Put it in their locker, they don't have to take it home. Lockers are
At
locked.
the end of the
Yeah,
day.
but you're training them to take it home and requiring assignments on it. So, I don't know.
Probably not
I'm not sure where I'm
all
sorry.
the time, I'm saying, probably not all the time. I mean, I don't know that the expectation even at the high school is that students are on that. The learning management system is there so that everything's all in one place and they can access the information that they need. And probably there is an expectation that they're following the courses in the learning management system, Canvas. At the middle level, they're also, that is the easy part, that's what we're trying to do. The
Okay,
teachers organize all of students' work, no matter which class, all in the same spot, so it really is very helpful for organization for students. Whether every teacher says, okay, you have to do online work for me, and you have to do online work for me, I don't want that to be the perception that teachers are saying you have to do all this work online. The learning management system really is to manage the courses that they take,
okay.
okay?
So it's kind of like a course room,
Yes,
like Blackboard.
that, it is just like.
Canvas is like Blackboard.
Canvas
But-
is Blackboard.
And so basically, it's just learning how to manage but without having, so they don't have to do the assignment, there's no assignments in
No, I'm not saying there's never any assignments where they don't have to go in and
there.
look at
Okay,
a video, make, write a writing response. response or something like that, I'm
So
sure.
it's
that
like
there's some-
preparatory, like preparing them for the high school Canvas
Yes,
levels.
it's the same thing.
I mean, I think some people are gonna see it as a resource that they can bring it home, and now it makes things easier for them to do their work, and other people, you know, I don't, but I don't know where, I don't know where that falls, you know. I would really like to see us get, based on all of what we're, the numbers and what we're looking at here, it makes perfect sense to me for high school kids to be putting their laptops in covers. But,
Just high school?
conversation for another, well, no, I mean in addition, I think
Oh.
we're looking at all of this, and
Gotcha.
we have, our high school kids don't have covers on theirs.
And the question is, when they start in sixth grade, will they continue, right, some will, and
I
not.
think we require it,
Everyone take
maybe,
my
I think
laptop
that
and
would be
use it
my,
to
look,
get
for
somebody
me,
to switch
for
back.
me, I feel like we need to make that clear now to all sixth grade parents. You're
Well, I've had
using
for
this cover
years.
6 through 12, so that parents know. I think that's something that we need to make clear now.
That's a concern of mine too, that if you're gonna purchase them for all the kids, but we're not going to be policing it and holding them accountable if they choose to go out and get their own case, what happens to the other case then? You know, if we're not policing it, then I feel like it's just a waste, it could be just sitting in somebody's house. Like, we do have to have some sort of, you know, either they're using the cases and they have to use the cases, or if we're giving them another option, you know, we're not giving, if some students are going to pick a different thing, that we have to list out options, give them links to 5 things on Amazon that these are other approved cases, and don't even bother giving that case, keep it in storage and hand them out to the next round of 6th graders that come in, because, you know, it's only $12 to $15, but if you've got half the kids that aren't gonna do it, I mean, we're just giving away a case then it's just gonna end up who knows where. So we do have to have some sort of policing, I feel like, to make sure that those cases that are handed out get used or get given back.
Reinforcement it,
We could
like you
label
were saying,
laptops with
reinforcing the
bags and
habit
they
of
match.
at the end of class, we put it in, reinforcement.
Well, and when you say about
reinforcing.
policing it, I mean, you know, if it's a requirement and you see a kid walking down the hallway not doing it, you can say, hey, put it in the cover. I'm not saying that we need to inspect everyone,
It's
you know,
reinforcing.
No, but I'm
if
saying,
you see something
yeah.
that's blatantly obvious, you say, hey, that's a requirement. But if it's not a requirement, then how do you say, hey, put it in a, you know what I mean? So I think it needs to be a requirement. That doesn't mean that, you know, we need to search everyone when they leave the classroom and make sure they
Hey,
all
little
have their.
Johnny, you
Right.
drop the laptop,
Right.
better get a case.
Right. But if we're not gonna enforce it, if we're not gonna hold them accountable if they aren't using the case and they're using their own case, we need to have some system in place to get that case back. I feel,
Oh, that's interesting.
you know, that's why I feel like you almost need to sign
A
off.
spreadsheet with a
But
laptop.
that's something I think you guys
database.
would get more conversation.
Oh, boy, yeah.
It's just-
We don't
I
wanna
think
keep
we
track
should
of
talk
the
about
No.
it.
$12 now. All right. Public comments.
Sue Furlong, West Rockville Township. Can you all remind me, I would like to review the video, hopefully, of the meeting where the academic reasons for dipping down into the middle school for one-on-one, take the thing home, had any academic advantages that we're not enjoying now? When was that discussed?
Is that December or before December?
December, I wanna say.
Was that December?
It might have been before December. December was just the initial one-on-one
December
presentation.
was
I just
the
watched that.
model.
I just watched
Yes.
that. So it must have been before that.
Yeah,
And it's
December
probably
was.
before I was in
October?
Okay,
Was that-
November?
Oh, it
November?
was
Don't we
October.
do it every other month?
It was before
I don't think,
December.
yeah,
'Cause
because
I just watched
December,
December's.
we didn't have one in November,
So it was probably October.
so it had to be that.
So when was the academic purpose for this discussed?
We would have to go back and just for a little.
Okay.
I really don't.
I do want to keep us as focused on public comment as possible, because if you have questions, obviously you can submit them to us and we would gladly respond.
Okay, well, that was a question.
Yeah.
I would like to see the entire cost, and I would like to know if any additional staffing is going to be necessary. I know like in about September, we had a meeting and it was discussed about all the stuff that happened during the summer where the computers were updated and, you know, set back to zero and all that stuff. And it was, I guess, a very time-consuming issue. And now we're, in middle school, we're gonna assign it to an individual, so that's like, we had 4 grades, now we have 3 more grades, that's a 75% increase. Do we have the staffing for that, or is that another expense that's gonna come on top that we're not talking
They
about?
re-image them every year, right?
We
Yeah.
re-image them every year regardless of
Okay.
So
whether
they just sit there and they re-image.
correct.
It's really a
So,
plug and play.
we are not proposing new staff.
Okay, thank you. When an in-house staffer repairs the machine and it was not covered by ADP, are we charging for our staff time and the parts that we order to the student that did not purchase the ADP?
So at the middle school level currently, no one has the ADP? So
Or
no
about
one,
high school? That would be a question.
Yes,
I'm not
if-
gonna ask you to answer it right now.
okay.
I want an answer though. Do we have any collection issues with, you know, we have this, that, and the other that they charge and that kind of thing? Just curious about that. I'd like to see a complete cost analysis of personnel and devices and all that for the one-to-one program grades 6 through 9, if it's implemented. Just curious. I guess we haven't really decided if we're buying the sleeve or if the student is buying the sleeve. We mentioned that another school district purchases the sleeves. Maybe if we could piggyback on them, we'd get a greater quantity discount. I don't know. Oh, I know what it was. There was a report as to the other districts who are operating one-to-one. In the middle schools, and I think you did not get a complete response. I would like to see if you would, if you send out a second request to the districts who did not respond. I have a feeling that maybe they are not participating in one-on-one, so they didn't feel like it pertained to them. Just to get a, you know, you get the impression like, wow, everybody's doing it. And I don't know if that's accurate. I just think that they might be more inclined to respond if they are doing the one-to-one than if they're not. Because if they're not, they're thinking, this doesn't pertain to us. It's not important. So I would like to, you know, possibly reach out a second time and see if we can get a more complete set of data as to how many districts are doing one-to-one in middle school with a take-home.
So you're saying like the exceptions to the rule, so the exceptions to those not doing one-to-ones, and why they chose not to.
I'm saying the ones who didn't respond might say,
Oh, the ones-
one-to-one, we don't do that, I'm not
So
gonna
they
answer
chose
this,
not
they don't wanna know about us.
Maybe you get feedback.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the response we got appears like, you know, wow, everybody's doing it. I don't know that that's an accurate response rate. I'm just curious if we could do a second request to the ones who did not respond, and then look at the complete set of data. That's it, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Nope, and that is okay.
Did you wanna answer something?
No,
No, you're good?
no, I'm just providing an update that an email went out to high school families today. There was conversation regarding GPA and report cards and accessing the information. All of that information went out to high school families today to explain to them how to appreciate Ms. Miller and her department. They made a wonderful screenshot of all the different things that you can access as a parent and what information it gives you. but it does give you the unweighted GPA, the quarter GPA, the cumulative GPA, the weighted GPA. The issue is still the app versus the web version, that if you're doing it on your phone, which my guess is most parents and some students do, the GPA does not have the same capability. We cannot display, it does not allow all of those to be displayed here. And so we can only do that on the parent portal. She tried to make that as clear as humanly possible in the email that was sent out, that this is done on the portal, not on the web, not on
But no
the
one
app.
will read it.
But there will still be some, so I just want you to know that if you get those questions, tell them, try it on a PC, not on your phone. It is not capable. It's not like we chose not to. It is not capable of doing it. Sorry, now it can be around.
Thank you. Now it's all right.
Can I just ask one quick thing? And I know, I want to get out of here as much as anybody. Feedback on the screen here? On the flat screen that we are, what do we like, thumbs up?
I like it's clear.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, it's a lot clearer. Yeah.
Right.
It's good for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dr.
all
Dormer,
right,
could
there
you
we
see
go.
things from the back? Dr. Dormer, could you see things from
Yes.
the back of the way?
Okay.
Ms. Diaz,
That's a
could you
lot
see
clearer.
the-
Clear.
okay,
Yeah.
I like it,
all right.
yeah.
Much better.
Okay, all right.
Perfect.
Very
Thank
good.
you.